and thanks for joining us for MotorWeek One-on-One. I'm Stephanie Hart. Today I'm joined by Jim Trainor, Director of Communications for Hyundai. Jim, thanks so much for being here.
You're welcome, Stephanie. Thank you for having me.
Jim, let's talk a little bit about how COVID-19 is influencing Hyundai.
Well, really, in everything we do, in the PR community, it's having major impact. We've had to postpone events, change events, do a lot more live streaming and virtual programs. It's really influencing how we look at the rest of the year, looking out at the auto shows that have been postponed and canceled, the drive events that are so important to get people, media into cars so they can tell the general public about them. So everything from our day-to-day activities to long-range plannings really has been, just thrown up in the air.
How do you keep up the morale during all of this amongst your staff?
Yeah, I've learned a lot throughout this thing. I'm pretty old school. I've never worked from home a day in my life. Now I've done it for 5 or 6 weeks nonstop. So you never really leave the office is one thing that I found, but two kind of enlightening things. One, the days go by so quickly. That surprised me. And the second thing is I've been surprised and impressed at the amount of work that we're able to do. We get a lot done. We're getting most of what we were able to accomplish, say, in the office, done at home. Zoom and Google Meets and WebExes and those sorts of tools are all a big part of it. My team gets together as a whole team at least twice a week on a Zoom. And, I think it helps us keep our sanity. And we all are in this together. It's good to hear everybody, see everybody. So using those tools has really helped a lot in keeping us going.
At this point, what do you think a post-virus world will look like for Hyundai?
Well, I'm happy to talk about that. The only thing is, whatever I say is going to be wrong. My crystal ball probably isn't any better than yours or anybody else's. But things, are going to be quite different. The way that we assemble, whether it's hundreds of people at an auto show or 40 people at a drive event, and the meals that we share together, that's all going to be different. I don't know if we'll ever get back to doing things just the way we did in the past. We're assuming everything's going to be different, but there are a lot of things that are popular in our industry for a reason, and the reason is because they work. Auto shows work. We get a lot of people together. You can come in, the crew from MotorWeek can come into the New York Auto Show, for example, and walk out of there with 30 or 40 stories in a couple of days at one location. That's hard to imagine replacing. You guys having to go to 30 or 40 separate events all around the country versus going to New York for a couple of days as an example. But there are hundreds of people that are at these events, and it could be a long, long time till we're able to get together again like that, whether we're wearing masks or not.
And Jim, you guys did a virtual reveal. How did that go? And do you think that could be the new trend?
Yeah, it went really well. It was on March 17th, easy to remember because it's kind of a historic date, really, for me, the first time we had to do that. Plus, it was St. Patrick's Day, so I can remember it because of that, too. But really, until 7 or 10 days before that, we had planned that to be a live event with hundreds of people. We were flying people into Hollywood from around the country, and we had this grand plan to show the new Elantra. And we wanted to make it a real big, happening. And we had 2 days of ride and drives afterwards. So it was going to be 3 days of full on, media relations work, including, the highlight of showing the new Elantra. So about a week or so before, so we just can't do this. It's too dangerous. It's against all the, social distancing things we were hearing about at that time. So we did a live stream. I think it went quite well. Hundreds of thousands of people watched it. We did a shortened version. We took a 38-minute program down to a 2-minute program, and I noticed yesterday that more than 6 million people have viewed that. So, from that perspective, and talking to journalists about it, and giving them the video and access to our executives, it went pretty well. But you miss out on the one-on-one conversations, the extra interviews. telling your story in a different way. You got 38 minutes of people watching a video. It might be one of 10 videos they watched that day. So you don't really know how effective it is other than the number of people who watched. So by that account, it was very successful. We heard some really, really good things, kind of, one-on-one from journalists that we talked to afterwards. So I think all in all, it went pretty well.
All right, Jim. Well, thanks so much for joining me today.
You're welcome.
Stay safe, and
Thank
hopefully
you.
we'll see you sometime soon.
I would like nothing better. Stay healthy, and thank you.
Thank you. And that will do it for our Motor Week one-on-one segment. I'm Stephanie Hart. Thanks so much for watching.